Then, you guys, we are going to do something fun today. I am right now setting up the computer, my Zoom meeting, to also broadcast this live on Facebook as we go. So, don't talk bad about your friends because they'll see it. So give me just a moment to get that going. I'm just playing. I know not to do that.
Are you going to mute Dave then?
What's that? Oh, yeah. If you're
going to mute Dave? I would.
you if you do have background noise, though, I do ask that you mute it because it's being recorded both for YouTube and now it's live on Facebook. I just put this on my personal Facebook for today, is where it's streaming live. So if you're looking for where it's at, it's on the Barbara Carr personal page. In the future, I'm going to try it on a few of the other pages, and we'll test it as we go. Hi, Dwight. Yes, question.
No, just a statement about the muting thing. I personally find it very distracting when somebody's not muted and just the sounds on their desk or near their phone or whatever they're using make the screen jump back and forth.
Okay.
I'm an ADD kind of guy, so it's challenging enough for me to keep focused on what's going on here. So I appreciate it when people's mics are muted so that I can keep focused on what you're teaching us.
Look at how many people just muted their mics for you, Dwight. That was really cool. Thank you, guys. If somebody does not know how to mute your mic, you could put it in the chat box. I'm going through and making sure that everybody's muted who isn't already. But if you don't know how to do something, put it in the chat box and I'll be happy to show it to you. Let's see. Oh, Tim, you're so funny. I'm just now reading the comments. What a jerk. Now, Tim is aiming to be my biggest fan, so that probably did not make him happy with what Rick did to me. That might be a fight, Rick. No, but I know you two are also good friends. All right, so today, today we are learning about LinkedIn. And you guys, I was originally going to teach you the different parts of LinkedIn on different days, but then I decided I wanted to give you guys even more than I already had planned. And so I decided to combine all 3 LinkedIn trainings into one training today. So I may talk super fast, but what that means is I've added more to the 30 days. And I realize that all of this is overwhelming. I do not expect you guys to use all of this. I want you to take what's applicable to you and run with it. And if there's something I'm teaching you that you're not ready for, just come back to it when you're ready for it. You know where to find it. All right, so let's see. Oh my goodness. I should try to keep my eyes away from the chat sometimes. All right, so today I'm going to talk with you about LinkedIn, your personal profile, your company page, and also groups on LinkedIn. All right, so 3 different topics. I will go probably faster than I normally do because I teach on these normally, and these are each 90-minute classes that I usually give. So obviously I can't give you everything because I don't even have 90 minutes for all 3 of them. So I'm going to try to condense them down a bit. If there's anything you get lost on, raise your hand either physically like this or click the raise hand button. Or just put a question in the chat box. I will do my best to keep an eye on the chat box, but because I'm going to zoom through it, I may not be able to. So if there's a question that you guys notice that I don't, feel free to either answer it if you know the answer or let me know, hey, Barbara, there's a question. Can we all do that? Teamwork here? Yeah? All right, thank you. All right, so the first thing is LinkedIn. What is it? Anybody in here already using LinkedIn? Give me your hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 people. Okay, so if you're using LinkedIn consistently, raise your hand. 1, 2. Okay, so we have about 2, 4, we have about 12 people on the call. About half of you guys say you're using LinkedIn, and only 2 of you are using it consistently. So here's the thing, you guys, LinkedIn is a gold mine. Write that down. LinkedIn is a gold mine. It is not as saturated as Facebook. It has all of the business professionals on there. And even if your client isn't another business, most business owners are people too, right? Like, we also have families. We also need our health. We also need to be smart about our wealth, right? So no matter what industry you're in, even if you're not targeting business owners specifically, business owners probably need what you have to offer. because they're people, and depending on who your target is, they probably fit that bill. The good news is they probably have the money to pay you too, right? We all like when people can pay us. Dwight, you said you don't think there's a raise hand button on your computer. If you, oh, I don't know where it is on the computer, actually. I don't have a raise hand button on my screen because I'm the host, but if somebody else can just put in the chat how to find the raise hand button when you're on a computer, that would be helpful. And so, using LinkedIn is important, but using it consistently is more important. Back when we did the blogs, I showed you guys how to blog on LinkedIn, even if you don't have a website. If you weren't here for that training, you can look on the YouTube page to be able to see that training. I should have had the YouTube page available to put in the chat here, but I don't. But I'll post it in the comments of the link of the Facebook Live for anybody who's watching this on live. I'll post my YouTube channel, but it is Fuse Empire, Fuse Your Biz. And if you just look that up, and you can find all of the past trainings. But on the blogging one, we talked about blogging on LinkedIn. Some of the other things you could do on LinkedIn, you've got to have a personal profile before you could do any of this. Before you could blog, before you could have a company page, before you could be part of a group, you've got to start with a personal profile. Your personal profile is you, right? So Barbara Carr is the personal profile, not Fuse. I'm sorry, somebody's calling my Google phone, and that, you guys could probably hear it. And I tried turning it off on my phone. Hold on, let me turn this off, guys. I'm so sorry. See what happens? And look, I'll bet it's Rick testing me. He's like, Barbara, why aren't you answering your phone? All right, there, I stopped it. All right, so continuing on. So you start with your personal profile. With your personal profile, you are able to do so much. But your personal profile has to be about you. Do not name your personal profile your business name. It's not good for a million reasons, okay? In fact, LinkedIn will take you down at some point if you do that. They don't allow that. So your personal profile should be your name. And in fact, there's a couple of you in here that I've used in my examples, good examples of how to do LinkedIn profiles. Rick, you're actually one of them. When I was teaching, I would teach people that, like, Rick, and I don't know what his looks like today. I haven't looked at it, but underneath his name, where you can write a tagline or what you do, most people write something boring like CEO of Fuse Empire. Nobody cares that you're the CEO of anything, right? Like, I know there's a place and time for that. There's actually a spot, like right here's your name and your headline. Way down here where the experience is, that's where you could write your CEO information. But up at the top, this is where your tagline is, and your headline, your motto, all that stuff. This is getting searched by the algorithms. It's getting picked up as one of the very first things. So it should be something that makes that people will search for. So on Rick's, and actually, Rick, I'm going to pull yours up. I sure hope yours is still good today. If it's not, you might have like 1 second to fix it before I get to it. But all right, let me share my screen, because Rick's was always a good example I loved using. All right, you guys, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know when you can see it. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. All right, can you see my screen yet? Yes? Okay, perfect. I see some nods. All right, so I'm going to sign in real fast. That's not, is that the one I want? Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay. This would be good for me anyway, to be able to show you guys on the screen all the things I'm talking about. All right, so up here at the top, I'm going to go to Rick Gosser. All right, Rick Gosser. So if I come to his page, do you guys notice, okay, his name, his picture, and then look at what this is where people put their title, what they do. Rick says, teach how to take action in life, inspirational and motivation speaker, lost 135 pounds in 2010, Gasser embroidery and screened apparel, grandfather of 6, life adventurer, bike rider, umpire for baseball and softball. So here Rick is giving you a lot of info, right? This is not the one he had when I was teaching it. It is still good, but it is different than, he's updated it, obviously. He's obviously in the past decade, he's changed a lot. He's grown, become a new man. So here's what's important. The word inspirational is highly searched. The word speaker, highly searched, right? Embroidery, I don't know how high it's searched, but it probably is up there, probably not like one of the top 10, but it is something that people search for. And I'm not just talking about on LinkedIn, you guys, this is on Google. If people search for these things on Google, they will find your LinkedIn profile if you're using it right. So Rick has a lot of good stuff here. He's got a bike rider here. He's got baseball, which is one of the things he enjoys, right? And so he not only tells you what he does, but who he is. This is a fantastic example here. Let me see what my current one is. I have not updated mine this year, but let me look and see what mine is. That's why I haven't updated it, because it's very similar to what I still want to have. Okay, so business growth trainer and keynote speaker. Again, speaker, one of the top things that are searched in social media, especially LinkedIn. Also the word trainer, very highly searched. Sometimes for personal trainer, sometimes for life trainer, sometimes business trainer. And the word business. Business is probably one of the highest searched keywords, like everywhere right now. So if you do something specifically with business, make sure that you include that in there. So I'm going to leave my profile up as I go through a few things for you here. So you see my profile image, which is my face. This needs to be updated once per year. Okay, because I mean, we age once per year. Not necessarily once per year, but every year we age. Yes, right? We age every year. We look different. Especially, so women, a lot of times, even if we change our hair color, we should probably update this. If we go from brown hair to blonde hair and it's very drastic, we should probably update our profile image. Otherwise, it's confusing when people meet us and we don't look like what they thought we looked like. Okay? Up here behind my pretty face, you see what is called a cover image. For me, again, I run my business very biblically, and so I put a biblical quote there, and I also included my Fuse branding on it. So let me see if I could click on this for you. So the image itself, it's still trying to load, it looks like. Is that really going to give it to me that tiny? But this whole border that's around it, I put that on there. I created that on there. I will show you a program in this training that you can do that yourself for free. I don't use a free program because I'm a graphic designer, so I use a very expensive program. That's not the one I'm going to show you. I will show you how to look like a graphic designer for free. That's in like week 3, I think. So, so you can make, and what I want to tell you guys too, while we're on here, and I've got to be super quick with this because I know that I have a lot to cover. Your branding is important. You have to be consistent again across all platforms. So if you're on 3 networks, those 3 networks should look like each other. Okay, you'll notice my colors are that gray and orange color. And so those are what all of my stuff looks like. My fonts, I always use the gray font that you see here with How Much Better. That is a font called Good Times. That is a font I use for my business. That's my primary font, my header font, right? My main font. And then this, where it's cursive here, Wisdom and Insight, that is my second font, which is called Bellarina. And it's our secondary font. And then our third font, which when we just like type up things, like while I'm writing my book, and so regular text, when obviously neither of these fonts would look really good if you had a whole book, right? You wouldn't write a whole book with either one of these fonts. It would be very hard to read. So our regular text font or our paragraph font is just Garamond, which is a regular font that many people use. But what I like about Garamond is that it looks similar to what a lot of the Bibles are written in. I honestly don't know what I know the Bibles are written in different types of fonts, but this Garamond font looks very similar to like a Bible font, which is why we chose that one for our text. All right, so as we continue on down here, and you guys, while I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see the chat. So if there are comments in the chat, just let me know, or questions. If there's anything I need to know, let me know. You know, you guys, this would be a fantastic idea for me to put a little plug out there. If anybody would like some experience in running a group and you'd like to be a moderator for my group, I will teach you very extensively how to run a group. You would need maybe about 10 minutes a day, and then to be available on this call to be kind of my helper person. So if anyone's interested, just send me a message or tell me, or put it in the chat. But, well, don't put it in the chat. I won't see that till later. But send me a private message and tell me if you're interested, because I could use the help. All right, so moving on. Your personal profile, I don't have the time to go through everything. The most important thing to know is that you want to go through and click the pencil in each section and fill out as much as you can and make it accurate. You should update your profile probably yearly as well. Okay, the LinkedIn profile is set up just like a resume is. So if you were in the job market, you'd probably update your resume regularly, right? At least every year. So you should also do that with your LinkedIn profile. As you continue to scroll down, there's an about, right? So I actually recently updated my about, because this paragraph right here, I used as a bio for, there is a company that was, they were such a prestigious company and they were reaching out to us for marketing. Well, actually it was, I don't know how to explain it. There was a project manager reached out to us for marketing for this really awesome company that was like I can't even say the name because we're still like in negotiation with them right now. But it's like, when I realized this company wanted to work with me, I was like blown away, and I didn't think I was qualified. There were 9 other people that were on this team of the project manager was compiling a team of 9 people to help this person what they were doing, and I was going to be the marketing person. And so this is the bio I sent to him. And you guys, I was, the other 9 people that were part of this proposal were doctors and attorneys and college professors, and like super smart and really advanced and highly achieved people. And do you know that this guy, who's a multi-billionaire, reaches back out to the project manager and says, "Who's this Barbara? I'm most impressed with hers. I'd like you to schedule a phone conversation with me and her." And I was like, what? I was so surprised. I couldn't believe it, because out of those 9 people, I thought I definitely ranked number 9. And when I talked to this guy, I was so nervous. But he still apparently liked what I had to say, because we're still trying to figure things out with how this is all going to work. But after I got off the phone, I thought, I better go back and read my bio and make sure I didn't make it exaggerate or something, make sure it's all truthful. And I did. I read it and I said, no, all that really is true. And I did have somebody help me write my bio. I didn't write this myself. I had a professional writer help me write it. And when we first wrote it, I thought, man, this person sounds impressive. And it happened to be me. So I recently updated this because it is all true. It's hard for me to see myself in that light. But update your stuff regularly, okay? As you continue going down, you can feature some of your work here if you want. I don't have anything featured, but you're welcome to feature stuff. It's just, if you want somebody to see something first, you could post it right there. So this is what you'll see. Other people don't see this, but you're able to see this when you're logged in. So this is not part of your profile. And then these are typically, I think this is in either the last 7 days or the last 30 days. I can't remember. But I can't show you the insights today. That maybe I could do that in another video, but we just don't have time for that today. Your activity. This shows the last things that you've done, right? So I shared this. I replied to a comment. This was my blog. Was that no, that was my video. And this was a blog post, I think. No, that was a post. But so it just shares what you've done. Then your experience, you guys. This stuff also needs to be updated as you update. If you change positions, put that on here. You'll notice that all of my businesses have the logo, right? And each of these are separate logos. On the side of the F, it tells which business it's for, but it all has the consistent branding. Do you guys see how important this is for branding? Keeping your branding consistent across every platform you can online is going to be super important. So again, you just type in, or you hit the pencil, and then you edit everything you can here. You want to be able to tag your company. You can't tag your company like where Fuse Marketing and Media is. You can't tag that unless you have a business page, which we'll talk about in a moment. I'm going to click edit to just show you what that looks like. So right here, see how before there's like this little gray box right here, which is what will show up if you don't have a company page. But if you have a company page and you connect it to your company page, then it will put your logo in that spot. Okay. And then always hit save. LinkedIn does not save automatically. Anytime you make a change, hit the save button. That's the most common thing I get when people can't figure out why something isn't working. And I say, did you hit the save button? And they say, there wasn't a save button. And I said, yeah, there is a save button. Go find the save button. So make sure you're saving. As you continue to go down, it's going to ask for your education. And you can put that in here. Mine doesn't have the logo for the college because they've changed their name, but I graduated when it was this name, so I left it that. I honestly don't know if there's a right or wrong answer for that. And then your licenses and certifications. I get to update this very soon because at the end of April, I will be a distinguished Toastmaster, which is the highest level you could reach in Toastmasters. I have 3 speeches left to give, and all 3 of them are in April. And so at the end of the month, I will be able to change this to DTM. And same thing with my name up here. I'll be able to change my letters to DTM. My volunteer experience, my skills and endorsements. You guys, with your skills, you list your skill by clicking the pencil. You list all the skills that you want people to know you for. And then this little number next to it. So I wrote that I'm good at small business, right? That's one of my skills. This 91 next to it means that 91 other people agreed that yes, Barbara is good with small business. And then it shows like some of the more important things down here. So endorsed by P. Simon Maller and 7 others who are also highly skilled at this, right? So it means a lot more when somebody else in the marketing industry, for instance, says that, man, this person's a good marketer. It means a lot when somebody, some other coach says that this person's a great coach, right? So that's why those numbers under there are important. Then your recommendations, you guys, these are your reviews, your testimonials. In order for someone to give a testimonial, they have to have a LinkedIn profile. Dwight, I see you have your hand up.
Is that stuff that other people can see when they're looking through your page, the
Yep.
endorsements and the number of people that agree?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I believe you can have up to 50 skills listed. There's no limit on how many people who can endorse you. And so you get more endorsements when you're active on LinkedIn. Okay, so if you're not active, people don't see your stuff a lot, so they don't think to endorse you. Your recommendations, the easiest way to get a recommendation is to ask for it. So if you know that you've made somebody happy and you've done really well, you could click ask for a recommendation. And then you could send them a request. Now, if you know somebody who you want to give a recommendation for, because the second easiest way to get a recommendation is to give one. So for instance, you know somebody that you did really well for, that did really well for you. You want to write them a recommendation. What you can do is write them a recommendation, and then your people will see it, which means that if anyone that you've done business with might want to write you a recommendation, they will see that you did, and then that will make them think, oh, I should write one for him or her. And so I can't come to mine on this because I can't do it on, I'm going to go back to LinkedIn to go to Rick's page again to show you how to give someone a recommendation. If you're thinking of, hey, I want to give someone a recommendation. If you'd like to tell people how awesome this course is, you could do that through LinkedIn. That'd be cool. If you have a LinkedIn profile. But I'll go ahead and go to Rick first. Let's see, Rick Gasser. Oh, look, down there, Isaac made a video 37 minutes ago on the update for the payroll protection plan. You guys, if you're a small business owner, even if you don't have employees, even if you're just a sole proprietor, you should really watch his videos because you qualify for free money out there. Okay, so I'm going to go to Rick's page, and let's say I want to give Rick a testimonial. I'm going to click on more and go to recommend. All right, so that's an easy way to give recommendations. You should definitely give other people recommendations because it does come back to you. You know, like you get what you give. So give, maybe not from the person that you gave the recommendation to, but someone else will eventually recommend you because they'll see that you recommended someone. All right, so moving forward, so you could put your accomplishments here if you want. You can put your interest down here. All this stuff people see, right? And so that's your personal profile. As you were able to see, it is set up exactly like a resume is. And that's how it should be. That's why this is your personal name here, not your business name. But if you want a business page, let me first go to my business page, one of my business pages, and I'll show you how to create a business page. Actually, I don't have to do that after the call because it literally takes 1 minute. I won't walk you through step by step. But if you click on, let me move you guys down here. If you click on the work section here, these little buttons come up, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's an option that says create a company page. Okay, so that's how you create a company page. It's super simple. It's very similar to setting up your Facebook page. You just follow the prompts. So here, while I'm in my marketing and media Facebook, or I mean, LinkedIn company page, I'm able to see, so all this stuff at the top, people don't see. This is for my information. Right here is what other people see. So they see my header, which this header, you'll notice I use a lot. Like on my YouTube channel, you see the same header. What it does is it shows the Fuse Empire logo, and then it lists all the businesses that we do have available. Now, the top 3 businesses are the ones that we focus mostly in, but we have the other 3 for when that we do, you know, occasionally, but we like to refer some of those out. And then just like your personal page, you guys, you have your profile image here, which should be your logo. Your personal image should be your face. Your company image should be your logo. And whoever creates your logo for you, whether it's you or someone else, you should have a few different versions of your logo. You should have a logo like this, which is horizontal for when it needs to be horizontal. You should have a logo that is either circle or square for it to go on things like this. Okay. And then if you want to follow somebody's, click follow. But for you, you need to write your company name and then a short 1 to 2 sentence description right here. Okay, and then as you go down, then you could put updates just like you can on your personal page. And then all of these, you can use hashtags in your posts. So whether you're posting for your personal, which actually reminds me, let me hit home. If you want to share a post on LinkedIn like you do on Facebook, you just click start a post, right? And then you type, it looks familiar, you just do it just like you would on Facebook. If you want to write a blog, you hit write an article. That's the only thing that's different than Facebook is writing the article. And you can't write a blog on Facebook. You could write a note, but they're not really as easily promoted or seen. So LinkedIn is the better place to write any kind of blog article or post. All right, so now we've gone over your personal profile and your company page. Does anyone have questions about either of those? I'm going to come to gallery view so I can see you guys. Okay, doesn't look like there's any questions. Let me just take a look through the chat just to make sure. Business people don't recommend a business page for LinkedIn. I've never had a business page, not sure if it's even necessary. Most LinkedIn people search for people and not companies. And then whose video? Okay, so Rick, to answer your comment, it wasn't actually a question. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for every business to have a LinkedIn page, but you need to know if it makes sense for yours. So if LinkedIn is where your target is, you should have a business page, because even though people are searching for people, they do follow businesses, and it's a place that you can put business information without kind of overwhelming your people. You could still put business information on LinkedIn because it is the professional site. So even on your personal profile, it could be all business if you want. And it should be. LinkedIn isn't like where you post, I had a bagel for breakfast or I took a shower today, right? You don't do that on LinkedIn. You see it all over Facebook. I don't recommend doing that on Facebook, but you see it all over Facebook. You don't really see that on LinkedIn. But so yeah, it's not right for everybody, but if you do have a business page on LinkedIn, you do want to be able to keep up with it. You want to be able to make sure that you're posting regularly. Don't create a business page and then leave it there to do nothing. Okay. And then Tracy said, whose videos? I don't remember what I was talking about with that. So if you could remind me, Tracy, you can unmute yourself if you want.
It was the small business Carr Act or whatever.
Oh, yeah, Isaac. My husband Isaac has been covering that. So Isaac Carr, if anybody's interested, check out his Facebook page, CCSK Law. That is where he's posting a lot of the information on that. And he just did an update today.
Yeah, I know. I sent my husband to some of his info too.
Good, good. Yeah, I see that it looks like Isaac was telling me today that for small businesses who like us, a lot of us who are like sole proprietors, they don't have like payroll. This loan will open up to us on the 3rd, which is in 2 days. It's open up now to people who have employees. If you pay yourself as an employee, like actually a payroll check, then you're welcome to do it already. But it is set up as a loan, but the whole thing could be forgiven if you follow all the rules that they give you, which is mostly just using it for payroll expenses and rent and utilities and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so it's really cool. All right, so can I post a video on LinkedIn? I currently do a Thursday leadership article every Thursday. Yes, you can. I'll show you that in just one moment, John. Thanks for the question. So business page, a good resource of info on your business and short videos. Yes, yep. So your business page on LinkedIn would be similar to what you would do on your Facebook business page. So you're giving value, you're putting a promotion when there is one, right? But mostly you're giving value and you're communicating with your followers. Okay, and so let me go back to share my screen so I can answer John's question. Yes, you can post a video. So you can do it 2 ways. When I share a video on LinkedIn, it's usually one I've already created. And so I click on here and then I can click video. And then I got to click on video to share. And that's how I would share that. But I'm not going to pick one right now, but that's how you would share a video. So you have to have it on your computer first. The other option is over here where it says video. You could click that and then do it that way as well. So either way, you could either click on the post first and then click the video down here, or you could click the video here. Now, there was once upon a time when LinkedIn was doing live videos. They stopped doing it, but I'm thinking that they're going to come back soon because, I mean, everyone has live. You can't do it at this time, but there was once upon a time when you could. All right, did that answer your question, John? Perfect. All right, so now we have, let's see, I wonder, it doesn't show that I'm still live streaming. I wonder if I had a time limit on my live stream. That would be a good question to find out. This is one of the newer things that you can do, and so I'm testing it so I can give you guys info.
I was going to say, I want to know how you did it.
Yeah, so you have to change the setting. You got to change it in your settings first. I don't know if it's available for the free version or not, but I have the paid version, so that's why. Yeah,
I have the paid version
okay.
too.
So when you change the set in your recording settings, first on your back office, then there'll be an option on your toolbar in Zoom. In the more option, it pops up to be able to go live on Facebook or go live on YouTube. So tomorrow we're going to go live on one of the business pages, and we'll do that for the next couple of days. See, it doesn't look like it recorded. Did anybody get a notification that I went live today around the time when we started? Here, I'm going to try it again right now and see if it works.
I wasn't checking Facebook, so I'm not sure.
Well, thank you, Tracy. You were fully here with me then. All right, so share on your timeline next. Oh, maybe I didn't I don't think I fully went through the whole thing. That might be why. Because I just, right after I hit next, um, I went to Zoom. And so it looks like there was more that I didn't do. So you guys see, we learn as we go. So tomorrow we might try to repost this on my personal page again. Yeah, see, I definitely did not go live. I'm going to go live just for a few minutes now, just for fun, just to see if it works. And then tomorrow we'll do better. All right, so does anybody have any other questions right now while I wait for this to load up? And I can't see you, so if you do, just ask. No? Okay. All right, so
I got a question. How many people actually look at your business page on LinkedIn compared to your personal page?
it depends. So right now there's not too much traction on it. It's definitely not as popular as Facebook pages yet. But Gary Vee is talking a lot about LinkedIn, and Gary Vee is a big influencer, and there are a lot of other influencers that are talking about LinkedIn. So it's only a matter of time before LinkedIn becomes more popular like Facebook, and you definitely want to be one of the beginners who are using it.
Okay.
Yep. Great question, Rick. All right, so it does say that it's streaming live on Facebook right now. You guys don't have to check, but if anyone gets a notification that dings that tells them I'm live on Facebook, just let me know. But it says that I am right now.
You're live. It says right on the
Awesome.
top. It says right on top of this.
Oh, yep, you guys can see
banner.
it
It says
too.
live on Facebook.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so if anybody's tuning in on Facebook right now, we are talking about LinkedIn and how to use it for your business while we are stuck at home. We've talked about LinkedIn profiles, we've talked about LinkedIn business pages. Let's talk about LinkedIn groups.
I just got the notification, Barbara,
Thank you, Phyllis.
that you're live.
Awesome. So with LinkedIn groups, they're going to be similar to Facebook groups, but a little different. So it is similar in the instance that you are in a specific group with people who have the same interests as you. And you also can pick if you want your group to be private or public or anything like that. What's different about LinkedIn groups than Facebook groups is that on Facebook groups, you will notice most people in the groups, many groups, are just in there to promote their own stuff. You guys have probably seen that in a lot of Facebook groups where people are just promoting and promoting. The only time you ever see them is when they're promoting. But in LinkedIn, when you get in there and you start looking through, people are sharing value and they're helping each other and it's discussions. The LinkedIn groups are more set up like forums. And that's the feel that you get. You still can post in them just like you do on LinkedIn or on Facebook. You can comment on other people's stuff. But to me, the feel is like a forum, which is really cool. It's people really genuinely helping one another. So what I want to do now is pull up, I'll share my screen and show you some examples. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to LinkedIn again. All right, so when you are in LinkedIn, actually we're going to see your groups or to join groups, you click on the work tab over here, and then you come down and you click on groups, which is like the center of the icons. And the first thing you'll see are the groups that you already belong to, if you belong to any. And then the next tab is the requested groups. And then, so requested is just like in Facebook, where people have to request and then you wait to be approved for it. And then you have the option over here to create a new group. Now, just like I told you with Facebook groups yesterday, if you're going to create a group in LinkedIn, make sure that you can keep up with it, especially if there's a lot of people and there's a lot going on. You as the host, as the admin, are going to control, you're going to be what sets the tone of if people are engaged or if they leave. And you need to be the most engaged person in there, but you should not be the only engaged person in there, right? Like you should not be the only one posting and commenting. I mean, you're having a conversation with yourself at that point. But let me give you some ideas to show you how to choose groups that work for you. The first thing that you want to keep in mind is same thing with Facebook. I shared this with you guys yesterday on Facebook groups video. Don't join 1,000 groups, right? Don't even join 100 groups. Join the groups that you can manage, that you can keep up with. If you don't have time to participate and to engage, it doesn't do you any good to be in that group. It doesn't do the host any good for you to be in that group. And it does not do any of the other participants any good for you to be in that group. So only join groups that you can actually engage with and keep up with. I'm going to show you a few of mine to show you some good things and some bad things about groups. So I'm just going to kind of choose down the line here. All right, I'll choose the first one, Northwest Indiana Business Professionals. As you see, this group has 1,428 members. So when you first see that, you might think, this is awesome. I could get in front of 1,400 other businesses, right? Really cool. Well, let's take a look and see if it is a really cool group or not. So you can see some of the people who I'm already connected with. It shows them right here, and then it shows more. So it looks like I'm connected with over 100 people who are in this group already. But as I continue to go down, what happens, I want to look and see who's posting. So here's this Kevin, and then we have Andrew, and then we have Kevin again. Then we have, I don't know, Joss maybe, Kevin, well, this is the same Kevin, but two different profiles of Kevin, that looks like. David Santana, Kevin again, Joss again, Kenneth, right? So look at like the last 10 to 20 posts to see who posted them. I am guessing that this Kevin is probably the owner of this group because he's posting the most. I don't know that for sure, but that would be my guess just based on what I'm seeing. Either that or he's really engaged. Now, the next thing you want to take a look at is how often things are posted. So you're first seeing who's posting, how many different people. Then you want to see how often. So this was 1 day ago. Then it was 6 days ago. Then 1 week ago, 1 week ago, 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, right? 3 weeks. So you're seeing, it's not like there's 30 posts a day that you won't be able to keep up with, but it's also, they don't go months at a time without posting. So that's a good amount of post time that's in there, right? So I would say the first criteria I gave you was how many different people are posting. I think we saw about 5 different people in the last 20 posts. I would say that's okay. I would like it if I see more people posting, or if I saw Kevin posting a little bit less. I'm sure his posts are great and he's probably the admin of the group, but I feel like he might be monopolizing the group and that might be intimidating for people. So and I don't know who Kevin is, and if anyone does, tell him I said hi. So the next thing you want to notice is how engaged people are. So if we look on this, there's 1 heart. Okay, this was only posted 1 day ago, so maybe people haven't seen it yet. But the next one, no engagement, no likes, no comments, nothing, right? The next one, no engagement, 1 like, right? So what that tells me is that there are a handful of people that are posting to this group, but the other people who are in this group aren't very engaged. And it's time to find, at this point as an admin, you should find out, why are people not engaged? Are they in too many groups? Is the content not good? Is this not a good fit for them? Are they in this group just because? So finding out why why there's not engagement would be an important thing for you to do as an admin. And also as somebody who's looking for a group is, to figure out, well, why is this group not engaged? And so then the last thing I would recommend you do is to see the content of the posts. So you originally looked at this group because of the name, right? The name is the first thing you saw, the name and the number of people that was in it. It was the first thing you saw to look at this group. And so let's see if the content matches what the name is and if it matches what we're looking for. So this group is Northwest Indiana Business Professionals. So I expect to see, stuff like this, Salvation Army serving families, right? That's a great thing to show that there's a local business in our community that is helping during this crisis, right? managed services. This looks like it might be a blog post on this person's Lunatech. Yeah. So Lunatech is the website this takes you to. This person's business is Lunatech. So this is a blog post they wrote on their website. And then here's some asking for help, right? Or offering help. That's a great post on something on here if that was what you were looking for. Is your business online? Is your online business SEO friendly? Okay, so if this is the kind of content you're looking for in a business group, then it makes sense to join this group. And again, just because people aren't engaged doesn't mean that you can't get value from the group. Like even if you're just getting value from some of the posts, you have to weigh in on your own to see if this is a good fit for you based on all those criteria. Dwight, question.
What is SEO friendly?
Search engine optimization. So how you get found in Google and Yahoo.
Which is what we're talking about right now, kind of, except with other platforms.
Sort of, yeah. It is a form of SEO, but it's definitely not SEO strictly. But yeah, anywhere that you can be found helps your SEO as a whole. So having a LinkedIn profile and having it completed and having your info accurate, all of that will help with your SEO, but it's definitely not the end of your SEO. Okay, so that was one example. Let me choose another group. Influential Women of Northwest Indiana. This is another group I belong to. So if we look in here, now look at this, Kenneth. Wouldn't you think by seeing the name Influential Women of Northwest Indiana that it's all women? You would think that, but actually one of the early things that I remember about Rick Gosser is that there was a group, Business Women United, I think they still exist, that I was attending when I first started networking, and Rick was the only man there, but it was like they couldn't like say I don't remember what the rules with it was, but like they called it Businesswomen United, but they didn't say it was strictly for women. And so Rick had an upper hand there because men didn't even look at the group because the name women was in there. But Rick thought outside the box and he jumped on board and he helped a lot of people in that group in their businesses. And so again, look, here's Kenneth. Barbara, look, I posted this 2 months ago. Is this group still active? Not one comment. Nobody told me if it was or not. One person liked it. I'll bet it's Kenneth if we click on it. Let's see. Oh no, Clarita. Which, but anyway, so look, the reason I asked that is because when I looked at this 2 months ago, look at the newest post was 4 months and then 3 years. So I asked, is this group still active? And I asked because I would love to be part of a group that says Influential Women of Northwest Indiana, right? But it does me no good if nobody's active in there. And so if I scroll up here, look at this, there's 416 members of this group. And it's getting very little engagement or post. And even when I said, is this group still active? Not one person answered me, right? So would it do me any good to post anything in this group? I don't know, probably not, because I don't know if people's reading stuff. They didn't even respond to my question. So knowing that kind of stuff is really important. I think I might have got something in the chat, but I can't see the chat. So if there's a question, let me open it up for questions real fast.
Hey, Barbara.
Yes, Rick.
I would say less groups is better.
Yes, thank you.
A post on your page today that someone was in 700 groups. I'm like, that's like 685 too many, right?
Yes, but
So,
the good news is she posted.
It was a great post because I deleted like 10 of mine and now I have 8 groups and that's still too many.
Yeah, because again, the answer to how many is too many is based on what can you keep up with. Right? What can you stay active in? So 8, if you can't keep up with 8, then you shouldn't be in 8. If you can't keep up with 3, then you shouldn't be in 3, right? So that number will be different for everybody, but you've got to know what your number is.
Right.
Okay.
It's all about engagement.
Yes.
Right? You can't engage. What's the point of belonging to a group?
Yep. And so you can delete your group. So for instance, if I go back to my groups, this Influential Women of Northwest Indiana makes sense for me to delete because nobody's in it. But what could be useful, let me tell you guys a way that I connect with people in a different way. And again, you guys, a lot of the things I teach you, people say, oh, that's sneaky. I like to use the word strategic, okay? Don't be spammy. Don't ever be spammy. Some of the stuff that I teach people, they twist it in a way that makes it spammy. Please don't take this to make it spammy. But look at this, you guys. Influential Women of Northwest Indiana, 416 members. I can click see all. These are people, women in Northwest Indiana, who also want to belong to a group called Influential Women of Northwest Indiana. So what I could do is let's take Samantha, for example. She's right here. I could click, it shows that she's a second connection, which means we have at least one mutual friend, but we're not friends with each other. Okay, so what I could do is I could click on Samantha, and I wouldn't do this all in one day because it doesn't make sense to connect with 400 people in one day, right? So what I could do is I could connect with Samantha, and I add a note, and I say, hi, Samantha. We both belong to the because you want to let someone know how you found them if you can. I can't spell when I'm talking. Influential women in Northwest Indiana group here on, oops, this is not Facebook, LinkedIn. I saw your profile and would love to connect. Okay, and then I hit send invitation. Now I will tell you guys, they just did a recent study, and actually back a couple of years ago, invitations that had a message were more likely to be accepted, but last year's post showed that there was no difference between if you do a message or don't do a message, so don't feel obligated to do a message. Dwight, you're muted, Dwight, I can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Verizon advertisement here. So Samantha is a graphic designer. So you connected with her because she wants to be in the group of influential women. So that's cool. But did you notice whether or not that connection has value, that she's into graphic design? I mean, you obviously had somebody help you get your border, or you used a program to get your border and all the stuff you were talking about earlier for your logo. So that's obviously important, and you've got some experience there. But when you were clicking on a person, you're also going to want to note what they do.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's a great point, Dwight. I wouldn't recommend going through and connecting with every single person, but yeah, do a little bit of research on the person. And then if it makes sense, I mean, you already have one thing in common, you're part of a group, right? And then obviously she and I have another thing in common because we're both in the marketing industry. It's okay to connect with people who are technically your competitors. In fact, I think it's a great idea because you can learn from each other, you can help each other. But utilize it. Before I leave this group, I should look at who's in here and see if there's anyone I might want to connect with. Do you see this Laura who does not have a picture? She's less likely to get connected with because people, they know, like, and trust people that they feel like they can actually know, like, and trust. And it's hard to know, like, or trust someone that you don't even know what they look like, right? And so I would probably skip right over her. I may not even click on to see her profile. I want to see who I'm dealing with, what they do. And then if we're a second level connection, here's another good idea. So we're a second level connection, which means we have at least one mutual friend. I could click on this Joanna, and it's going to pull up her profile in a moment. And if I scroll down over here to the side, is it not going to show me that anymore? Over here on the right side, it used to show me our connections, but it doesn't look like it is now. One right here, one mutual connection. So we're both friends with Lisa Carpenter. Now, I don't know Lisa Carpenter personally, like I don't remember who she is. It doesn't ring a bell to me. But let's pretend like this said, you both know Rick Gosser. We'll use Rick as an example all day today. Let's say that it said that. If it were to say that, another way I could connect with her would be to hit connect and send her a message that says, hey, Joanna, I noticed that you and I are both friends with Rick Gosser. I met him through networking about 10 years ago. How do you know him? right? And so even though that is a super innocent question, it actually almost gives me a third-party endorsement from Rick Gosser, even though Rick Gosser didn't endorse me. And maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't, who knows? He's like, no, but that subconsciously tells Joanna that, oh, Barbara and Rick are friends, even if we're not, right? So obviously don't be deceiving on here, but you can use your current connections as unspoken third-party endorsements that way. All right, so what other questions do we have right now?
Not really a question, but just a comment. If you're going to get on LinkedIn, you need to go all in. And what I mean by that is, you know, you sent that message to that lady. I go one step further. I put my name and my phone number and also my email, because a lot of people, you know, they get on LinkedIn. They're like, oh, I'm not going to give that information out. Well, what's the point of getting on it if you're not going to go all in?
That's a great point. Yeah, if you are going to be on there, you've got to expect people to reach out to you. You got to expect it.
So it just gives her another way to contact me. Maybe she wants to text me. Maybe she wants to email me. You know, but I sign all my connection messages. So
that's awesome.
I'm not saying what you did was wrong. I'm just saying that's just what I do.
Right. And yeah, there are different ways to do it. What I do is I wait until she responds, and then I ask her if she'll do a meeting with me. So I connect on Zoom. After we've connected on Zoom, that's when I capture her info and say, all right, well, here's my info. Let me take your info. Or if it's a phone call, we exchange information then. But yeah, you just, like Rick said, you have to be ready to respond. If you connect with someone, you've got to be on there checking your messages. Right? Like, you've got to make sure that if someone messages you, that you respond. Same thing with your notifications. So here I have 9 notifications, and the more connections that you get on LinkedIn, the more notifications you'll get. But you want to make sure, look at this, Kyle Knutson, I think he's still on the call, viewed my profile today, right? 24 minutes ago. Kyle, are you still on here? It doesn't look like he is. Okay, and I'll show you where you can view your profile stuff too in just a moment. But look so right here, Debbie George reshared my post yesterday. So I posted this. Let me click on it. I want to show this to you guys. Yesterday, I posted this. I think it was yesterday. No, it was 3 days ago. And I said, yesterday I taught him my 30 virtual marketing ideas to stay visible, and I blah, 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 right? And then here's the link, right? So what I did was I put a plug for what I'm doing, put a link so they can get to it. This takes them to the Facebook group. And then I put a video about one of the things. Was this one of, here's the email. Oh no, this was for the email. And this was the email I was teaching you guys. So if you click on it, well, not on this post, but oh, this is the link to the email. So if they click the link, it takes them to the email that I sent out to my people. But what happened was Debbie George, 9 hours ago, said, I'm doing this class and Barbara knows her stuff. She has lots of great tips. You guys, I have to be able to respond to people. I have to let them know I appreciate it, or they'll stop doing it. So I come down here to comment. Let me move you guys over here. Come over here to comment, and I say, thank you so much, Debbie. Oops, didn't tag her. So as you start typing, then you could pick the person, right? Thank you so much, Debbie. I'm glad you are enjoying the program. You are doing a great job. So then I've complimented her now as well. My typing is so rough because I'm wearing like this thing, and I keep hitting buttons I shouldn't. So then I post it. That lets her know that I appreciate that she shared this, but it also boosts this post back up to the top for people, right? So respond to people. And if for some reason Debbie comes on here and she makes another comment, then I should comment back. Like, we should keep it being communication. At some point the conversation ends, right? But know when to keep going and know when to stop it. But make sure that you're responding to people. All right, so then here on my network, if I click here, bring you guys down here, Kyle requested me. Again, I know he's not on. I think he got off right now, but he requested me. Here's what I do when I accept people. I hit accept, and I actually have a template of this, but I don't have it open, so I'm not going to waste the time to open it. But so now I'm connected. I'm going to click on the message button, and I'm going to say, hey, Kyle, thanks for, come on, Barbara, thanks for connecting. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you. Oh, one too many T's there, huh? See, this is Grammarly that I have. You guys see how it's showing me that it's wrong, and I just click on it. Okay, come on. Would you be interested in setting up a Zoom call to get to know one another better? Right? Super simple, super innocent. I got to move you guys again so that I could hit send on that. Then I hit send. So every time I hit accept for somebody who requests me, I send them a message asking for the next step. Marie, in your business, you probably call this opening the, I think you called it opening the relationship, right? So this is similar to your opening the relationship. Don't just connect with people and end it there. Connect with them and then message them. All right. And then keep the conversation going. Make sure that you keep getting on here regularly to keep the conversation going. Or if you don't want to get on LinkedIn every day, just make sure you have the notifications set up on your phone so that if someone messages you that you can, oh, somebody messaged me, and you're able to respond. But don't leave that message empty for days or weeks. Okay, so then let's see. Oh, I want to show you guys how to see your stuff, your statistics, your analytics. So when you're on your home page, you look over here, it shows who's viewed your profile and views of your posts. I'm going to show you the who's viewed your profile. So 68 profile viewers in the last 90 days. So that's been down 9% in the last week. It will probably raise now that I'm showing my LinkedIn profile. So you could actually see there's certain days, like on this February 19th, I probably did a LinkedIn training that day somewhere in the world, right? And so the days when I do LinkedIn training, it spikes, right? These are the days that I probably talked about LinkedIn. But if you come down here, you can see who's viewed your profile. Now, I always tell people you don't need the paid version of LinkedIn if you do this consistently. One of the greatest things about the paid version is that you're able to see everyone who's viewed your profile and a lot of detail about them. But if you stay up to date on this at least weekly, you'll be able to still get value from the free version. So it shows you the people who viewed it, shows you a little bit about them. So you know what they wrote in the header part, if you're a first level connection or not, and when they viewed it. So Rick 13 minutes ago, Kyle 49 minutes ago. If we come down, this shows somebody who was viewing it incognito. Same thing here, incognito. But look at this, Adam Wallace. He's a second level connection, or a first level connection. He viewed my profile 2 days ago. Here's what I think when people view my profile. If they're a first level connection, I think they either saw one of my posts that they liked, so then they looked at my profile again, or they had some kind of need that they were wondering, I wonder if Barbara can help with this. And if they're a second level connection, I feel like they found me typically from whoever they were connected with or in a group or something like that. But here's how I handle the people who viewed my profile. If it's a first level connection, if I know, like Rick, for instance, I know Rick. So if I see Rick and he looked at my profile, I would send him a message just to say, hey, Rick, been thinking of you. Hope you're doing well, right? Just a super simple message. Because what that does for the brain is that if Rick actually was looking for, let's say, a virtual assistant, and that's why he looked at my profile, and then I happened to just randomly message him, he might think, huh, that's a sign. I need to talk to Barbara. Now, again, strategic or whatever you want to call it, you use your brain on it. But if I don't know the person very well, like Adam, for instance, I don't really know Adam very well, but we are first level connections, and he viewed me, which means he probably did like something I posted. And so it would be a very good time to connect with him now. So I might send him a message similar to this one. Hi, Adam. We've been connected on LinkedIn for some time now. Some time now could mean whatever you think it means, right? So, but we haven't yet connected. So I was hoping to schedule a Zoom meeting or a phone call with you. Actually, you know what might be a little less intimidating is just the word call, because it could be a Zoom call, right? Once we figure this out, hoping to schedule a call with you so we can get to know what each other does. I don't know if that's proper grammar or not. And then would you be interested? Right? Super simple. Hit send. Now, here's the thing. I don't know why he was viewing my profile, but the fact of the matter is he recently saw the name Barbara Carr. And now today he's getting a message from Barbara Carr. So he's more likely to say yes to me because, again, in our human brains, we think, oh, this must be a sign. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the person on the other end being super strategic. Who knows? But so those are some ways that you can use LinkedIn to further connect with people. Now, of course, when I connect with Adam, if he says yes, and same thing with Kyle, if he says yes to the Zoom meeting, I want to be genuine on those calls. I'm not looking to try to sell anything. I really want to get to know these people so that I can see if A, I need them, or B, they need me, or C, if I know somebody that they should know because of whatever their service is or their need is, right? If there's something that I can, somebody or something that I can offer them that can help them, even if it's not me. I genuinely want to build relationships and help people with whatever it is that they need help with. Does anybody have questions on that? Because I know we are over 3 o'clock now. You guys are so loyal, even when we go overtime. Let's see. So I'm just reading the comments to see if they're, good job to Dwight for leaving many groups. Keep it up. All right, so I'm going to open last chance for questions, comments, or concerns. If you don't have any in the next 60 seconds, this will be the end of the call. No questions?
Not really question, but I would say a lot of people don't respond at all to anything on social media. And that's like the worst thing you could do.
Yes, good point, Rick. You want to elaborate on that?
Even if it's, a lot of people work 9 to 5, a lot of people don't work 9 to 5. Many business owners don't have a 9 to 5 job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if people are contacting you at 10:30 at night, that means that that's the time that they have to contact you. So, the worst thing you could do is just ignore it. The best thing you can do is say, hey, I'm not in the office, but I'll get back to you first thing in the morning or something along that line or whatever. So the worst thing you can do, people on the average text, it's 90 seconds. That's the average going around the world. So if you can respond to somebody in 90 seconds on a text, you're in your A game.
Yeah. Who can respond in 90 seconds? I think it's even hard for me. And I like to think I'm part of the younger generation. I mean, like physically, like respond. Like now that I can't see it and start responding, I don't know if I could hit the send button in 90 seconds. In fact, you guys, so I was talking, I have 2 teenagers, as you guys know, and while I'm great at social media, they are even better at certain platforms, right? So like Snapchat, Instagram, all those, they're way better than me at these. In fact, there's times when I say, hey, show me how to do this, and they show me so that I can show you. And so I just asked my daughter the other day, I said, Alyssa, when I do the Instagram and Snapchat training and TikTok, can you be on there on my phone, right? So it's going to be my account that she'll use. And I'm like, but can you like help show the screen and show how to do it, because you would explain it so much better? And she's like, yeah. And I started realizing I might be teaching her how to be an entrepreneur by letting her do that. So how cool is it? You guys are going to be trained on social media by a teenager in a couple more days.
That might be more than an hour.
You would think, but I think that her mindset might be, the sooner I get off this, the sooner I can hang out with my friends, on their
10 minutes of training.
Yeah, right. It'll be the quickest training ever.
No.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Please share this with your friends. The group is still open for invites. If you remember, don't just hit the invite button. Tell people why they should be here. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not yet, which is Fuse Your Biz, Fuse Empire.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.